Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and freaking early anymore. It's 7 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right, today I'd like to talk a little bit about the Beau the Fifth Column video I did, having to do with brands and Elon Musk and changing the name of Twitter. I want to talk a little bit about that. I'll tell you what this video is about and what it's not about. It's not about trying to emulate the views. I was surprised when I got all those views. I had no idea. Let me talk about that a little more. Sometimes people don't realize that I'm not just a creator, I'm also a viewer. I watch a lot of different channels and different videos. And over the years, I've seen other channels, maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 other channels that come to mind that would use his name in order to get views, and it's obvious sometimes when you see that. You'll see somebody, this channel, use his name, and then a couple days later they'll do another video with his name in it and his picture on the thumbnail. Speaking of that, I don't think I'm even going to put Beau's picture on the thumbnail because I don't want to come across like I'm just trying to drum up more views. It's a sincere. When you're sincere about what you're talking about, it's amazing how perceptive people are, and they can sense that, and that's when you get views. Like I said, so I've seen people do this, and to be honest, like the first video I did, I was just starting out. I had maybe, I don't know, 50 subscribers, and I was speaking from the heart. The first time I came across Beau the Fifth Column, and it was just from the heart. People sensed that, and that video just exploded. I'll put the link one more time down below to let's talk about Beau the Fifth Column. And I'll be honest, I thought the title was very clever, and I've seen people use that same title in videos since then, but I don't have a copyright on the title. But anyway, it's amazing how people are perceptive, and they can sense this. Over the last couple of years, I'll be honest, there's been times where things got a little slow, and it crossed my mind about talking about Beau. Everything I talked about was genuine and honest, but there were times when I was trying to drum up some views, and every single time it never worked. It's like people could sense it right off something in the wording, in the thumbnail. I don't know, but those, the first video I did got crazy views, and then over the last couple of years, there's been times I've done Beau the Fifth Column videos, and they didn't get anything for views. So when I just did this video a couple days ago, I did not expect more than 50 to 100 views probably, because it wasn't, people weren't spotting the name and just clicking on my video. I was surprised. So the purpose of this video isn't that. It's your comments. Over the last few days, I wasn't sure where all these views were coming from. I didn't know if it was YouTube showing it over and over again. That's another thing. I saw the views a couple of days ago. Was it Wednesday? The video came out, and they went up. I was just amazed watching the views pile on. 2,000, 2,000. And as soon as I put out another video, I broke a rule of mine. You put out another video, and YouTube stops showing my first video. And I just saw the views, bam, just hit 2.8K and just stop. And that was when I broke another one of YouTube's, one of my own personal rules of you got to let the views play out and add up before, because then it comes out of rotation and I won't get any more views. So I kind of spoiled it. Okay, so one of the best comments I ever got was from somebody that said, I was worried, like after the initial Beau the Fifth Column video, the views kind of started going down. And I mentioned something in a video about, I'm not emulating Beau or following his the way he does things. And one of the people commented, we're not watching you because you're like Beau, we're watching you because you're you. And I got goosebumps. That's one of the coolest comments I ever got, and I kept it in my heart, So I see your comments. I read your comments, and your comments were very blunt and to the point, which I respect. I was impressed. And the general gist from your comments was, you guys came right out and said, "Look, I'm just watching you because you use the name Beau the Fifth Column," and generally the comments were something like, like, I'll give you a chance, I'm going to watch you this one time and let's see. And it was very blunt and to the point, the general gist of the comments. And I got to admit, it gave me a little anxiety and maybe a little nervous. Put the heat on, because of course you want to keep people interested, keep people, viewing, and that's when it came to my mind that I'm just going to keep being who I am. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. Me and Beau have a lot of the same ideological ideas. I've always been impressed. He does these short videos, like 5 minutes, and it's like a 45-minute class. And it's not like sitting in a classroom. It's entertaining. Like after the video ends, you're left with this knowledge. You've learned like 45 minutes worth of material, and just in an entertaining way. That the time just flies by, and it's amazing his technique. He covers a lot of heavier subjects like law and history, and I'll talk more about our different fortes in a second. And when I've tried to do that, I just haven't gotten a lot of views. It's trial and error. Like I said, we both have the same liberal, Democrat, progressive. I'll use the word progressive ideological backgrounds. One of the things I'd like to talk more about climate change. That's one of the things that really drive me. And whenever I talked about it, it's never gotten a lot of views. So I kind of just go by that. A lot of my stuff is more, I wouldn't call it sensational, but it's stuff that attracts my attention, like stuff on airplanes, people being rude on airplanes. Karens, that's another thing. It's short, it's to the point. I give my opinion. A lot of videos, I use empathy, and I'll find a story that I could relate to, and that's what I'll talk about. Okay. Now let's get to our fortes. I was going to say this too. There's been times where I lost views, and I broke one of the cardinal rules. I wasn't following my brand, and I branched off and I tried to do like the haunted tunnel video, like a ghost video, and it was sincere and everything, but that just screwed up my views. That's one of the general rules about brands. Once again, is you don't go out of your niche. And when I did that, I lost a lot of views. When I did a video about 4 months back, it was a short video. It just killed my subscribers. It killed my views. I did a short video. It was I cringe when I think about this. I sang happy birthday to YouTube, their 18th birthday. And I just thought it was just off the cuff. And it just killed my channel about 3 or 4 months ago. So you live and learn. All right, now I kind of see, like I said, I'm my own person, and me and Beau, I love the fact that Beau it's a man in a simple setting, not using a lot of gimmicks, not using a lot of technology, just, talking one-to-one to the viewers. That's the thing I love about Beau the Fifth Column, the formula. It's very basic and to the point and genuine. And this is the way I look at it. Like, Beau has his own forte, like the Army. I believe he's got a history in training people, police techniques, and stuff like that. He's very knowledgeable about stuff like that, where I have no knowledge of any of stuff like that. But I have a lot of knowledge about recovery, and that's something very close to my heart. When I find a story that has to do with both, like politics, like fentanyl being blamed on immigration, which drives me crazy. Those are videos I feel very strongly about. There's another subject too. If you're new to my channel, I'm sorry for the people that already know this. The whole COVID thing, and I want to tell anybody that's new to my channel this, because this is very important to me. And this is a subject that I talk about a lot. I had my soulmate. This woman, this girl, my very first girlfriend from like 3rd or 4th grade, and we separated for a while. We got back together. We both went through. She went through alcoholism. I went through drug addiction, and we ended up living in the same town. And we started dating again back in 2013, and we started living together. And we had our ups and downs and everything, but I believe she was my soulmate. And she moved to Jacksonville, Florida, in the summer of 2021. She was a total Trumper, which it was a hard relationship. She was a conservative, total Trumper, and I was the opposite. And when she left, we talked a little bit about, I got the COVID, I got the vaccine and everything. I got vaccinated like 5 times so far. I wore a mask, where she didn't believe in that. And I talked to her about this when she left in June of 2021 to go to Jacksonville. Within a few days of getting to Jacksonville, that's when the Delta variant blew up that summer, and she contracted it. And I'm texting her the whole time. And before I knew it, she was in intensive care. She was intubated, and she died on August 5th of 2021. I did a video that day. I was just crushed. I still am. So this is something very, she believed a lot of this nonsense about the vaccine and masks and all that, and she ended up dying. And even worse than that, I got in contact with her sister, got in contact with me and asked me if she ever had asthma. Because apparently the medical examiner down in Florida was trying to say that it was asthma that she passed away from and not COVID. And Ron DeSantis, and how his, how he did remarkable with COVID. And, when I know, the truth is that they avoided labeling a lot of deaths as COVID. And it happened to somebody I love. They tried to call it asthma. Audrey never had asthma one day in her life. No, I'm sorry if I got carried away. Obviously, that's one of the things that's very, very strong to me that I'm going to talk about in the future. You'll see that on my channel. You'll see me talk about recovery and the need for treatment for addiction. Until you can treat the disease of addiction, there's going to be, where there's a demand, there's going to be a supply. This silly stuff about building a wall or guarding the ports of Mexico or sending troops into Mexico is just, it's nonsense. Until it's nonsense when there's, millions of Americans with billions of dollars wanting those drugs. It's pointless until you treat the disease of addiction. So those are my fortes. Those are the things you'll see me talking about. And our combined background of a progressive liberal ideology. So I hope I sum this up. I'm running long, 12 minutes. I hope that you continue to watch me, even though I'm not exactly like Beau the fifth column, and I'm not trying to be. All right, you guys have a great Friday.